Hey everybody and welcome back. In today's video I'll be making a DIY loot llama from everyone's favorite game series, Fortnite. And I'm gonna be quite honest, I have not played this game before and I'm not gonna pretend like I have played, so with that being said, let's get started. To begin, I got a couple floral foam pieces and with a couple chopsticks I secured them all together. Once I had the basic shape all connected together, I got some hot glue and secured everything in shape. Once I had the basic llama shape, as you can tell it looks exactly like a llama right now, not really, I began cutting all the necessary pieces to it in order to start giving myself a general idea of what I was working with. And once I had that, I just got a couple pieces of scrap paper that I wasn't using anymore, and with a glue and water mixture I made myself a ragtag type of paper mache. I then coordinated all the colors that I would need to be painted onto the actual body of the project. And as you can see here, I used a lot of light pastel purples, blues, and pinks. Then once that was finished, I cut a bunch of pieces of paper similar to the same colors I painted on and basically made a type of confetti and then glued those with Mod Podge onto the whole body of the corresponding colors of the llama. It was important in this part to have each confetti piece overlap itself so it actually gave a nice piñata style look. Here's what we have so far. And it was at this point I realized I did not make my head skinny enough, so I basically did a little field surgery to it and cut it to the even shape I wanted. And once I had the exposed foam, I wrapped that in another type of paper mache that I made and let that out to dry. And once we had our newly decapitated llama, I set that out to dry. While that was drying, I began to make the basic head shape. And to do that, I used lightweight modeling clay. And the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want the whole thing to be super heavy, and that is why I'm going to be using some Crayola Model Magic to make this. And while making it, I basically made a basic head shape to match the picture I drew, and until I basically had a kind of Peppa Pig-esque shape going on here. I set that out to dry and then began making the ears. And to do that, I basically put two cones together to make some bunny ears. Along with that, I also made a mouthpiece as well. Once our body was done drying, I got a chopstick and broke it in half. And in the same fashion as I did for the body, I stuck it into the top neck portion of the head. Then using some glue, I secured the head on top of the body. This is the part where having lightweight clay comes really in handy. I filled any gaps with the necessary amount of modeling clay and then set that out to dry. Once it was somewhat dry after a few days, I got my pastel pinkish purple color and began painting the whole head along with the neck. I attached ears and let that dry. And just as I did with everything else, I painted the ears as well. I also painted the mouth portion too, but I'm not going to connect it quite yet because it is a fragile piece, so I would like to wait to the end project. I then got a thin woman's belt and began cutting just the leather portion of it. Once I had that strip, I cut that in half to make two even thin strips. These will be the harnesses on our piñata llama. I secured those with hot glue in the corresponding areas and then wrapped those around the length of the head. Once I had that basic shape, I began painting the eyes on. And to do this, I basically drew two egg shapes on each side of the head and then painted them all in white. I added little nostrils along with the pupils of it, and as you can see, we have the whole face shape coming in. I then got two bolts, and it does not matter on the actual size of the bolt itself, but more of the headpiece. I glued those onto the bottom portion of the mouth, and as you can see here, these will act as the, reins for the llama. And here I ran into a problem. The whole llama was very front heavy, so in order to fix that, I just got some old dead batteries laying around and put them to good use. So I hollowed out the back of my llama and glued those all in shape, and as you can see here, it's not going to fall over anymore even when I stand it up. And to cover that up, I just made a burlap saddle and glued that to the back. And this is what we have so far. I then got two squares of paper and began drawing two even arrows on each side. Then once I had those, I glued those to the middle of the burlap. I then put that to the side and got an aluminum can. I cut out an even strip of aluminum and straightened this out. Once I had the straightened aluminum piece, I cut out 2 rectangles and cut those in half as well. Once I had my little smaller rectangles, I folded them up in almost tube shapes and flattened them down. In total, I did this 4 times. Now with the same sheet of aluminum, I cut 2 little hemispheres out of it. Once I had the correct shape of aluminum, I secured that onto the saddle along with the 4 flattened tubes that I made before. And as everything in this project, everything will be symmetrical, so I'm doing this for both sides. I then got a really big staple that I'm not really sure what it's used for, and then jammed that into the actual aluminum piece, with leaving some room. I put that to the side and got 4 equal-sized wooden pegs and painted them blue. While those were drying, I got some extra paper that I had lying around and began making the tail. And now it's time to add the mouth that we made earlier. In order to do that, I just added more glue to the very bottom reins of the actual head itself and then glued that into the right shape. Once that was dry and secure, I just got a small string of modeling clay and then made the teeth. And as you can see now, our feet are completely dried. So with some pre-made holes I made earlier, I just stuck those in the corresponding areas so that it would be able to stand on its own. And finally, to complete the project, I spray painted some small locks silver and attached those to the llama to store all our safe treasures. And that completes our build. Thank you everybody so much for watching this video, and please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and also comment in the comment section of what you would like me to build in the next video.